Hi, it's Jim, and in this quick little video, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to turn an article into an audio. Now, the reason we're particularly doing this is because we're going to turn an audio into a YouTube video slideshow, and subsequent videos will show that. But for now, I just want to talk about taking the copy of an article and turning it into an audio so that you can use it in various ways later. The first thing to know is I have a nice microphone, but you don't need one. In many cases, the mic that comes with your computer is just fine. The mics that come with iPads are spectacular. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like the sound of your mic, or if you want to get a little bit better sound, you can go with like a phone mic that you can put on your, this is for my phone, but it also goes in my computer. And if you go up a notch, you can get a nice USB mic that has really great sound, or any mic that you want. Now, the purpose of a mic, an exterior mic, as far as I can see, is one of the benefits is it puts the mic closer to your mouth and gives you a more intimate sound. And also it gives you a consistent distance. If you have a headset, your mouth is always a consistent distance. So if you move forward or back, you're still making the same, your voice sounds the same. So that makes it easier, especially if you're like me and you kind of wiggle around when you read. Anyways, I'm going to now share my screen and go into the process a bit. Going to go to screen share, and we're going to share this screen. Share. There we go. And there we have the article under discussion. It's 21 conversation ideas for your first online date. And then this is the article. And you can see it's a briefly illustrated list post with conversation ideas. Nothing that special, but we're going to turn this into a YouTube slideshow later on. So here we have two things on my screen now. This is Audacity. This is a free editing software. It's very, very simple. It's available for Mac and PC, and it's really good. Now, the way I set it up, you can see here, up there in the middle, it says microphone, and you choose the microphone. I've got a Yeti microphone. And then it says input. And now some people recommend stereo. For simplicity's sake, I just use mono, and I think it sounds just as good. The two tracks can confuse you if you're just learning this. That's all. Now, all you do to fire up Audacity is I'm going to push the red record button. But now let me just show you. I have my transcript, okay? I could read it off the website, but here it is, 21 conversations for your first online date. And you can see here, I've got just in a little pop-up window, it's an email, and I have the text of the article here. So now what I'm going to do is just give you some ideas. Now, here's the number 1 and 2 most important points. I'm going to turn my screen share off because this is a big deal. Hi, this is a big deal. The number 2 most important thing to know is if you fluff something and you really hate it, these list posts are small. So what you do is go silent for a few seconds, maybe 5 seconds. That will give a nice flat space in the recording. You'll be able to easily see it, zip it out, and then just start again. So if you say, number 2, how about your spare tire instead of how about your spare time? Then, of course, just go quiet, wait, and then just do number 2, how about your spare time? And then go on, right? So these points are very short and small, so it's easy to do. And the number 1 most important thing to do in making these recordings is don't try for perfect. If you fluff a word, if you say something wrong, either fix it or go on. This is not something to be endlessly crafted over. This is not an Adele song. This is just something that is going to be quick and dirty, and quite frankly, on YouTube, authenticity, realness is more important. So you don't have to read it perfectly, okay? So if you fluff it terribly and you just can't live with your mistake, go quiet and then repeat the list area, okay? Very simple. If, however, you make a mistake, the best thing to do is just go forward. Back to screen share. Okay, so I've got my script all set up here, and now I want to get my Audacity. Oh, there we are. Good. I minimized the window and couldn't find it here. Okay, so I have my script and I have my Audacity. To record it, I just push the red button and I'm going to do a little sample reading. All very simple. Push the red button to start recording. 21 conversation ideas for your first online date. First dates can be excruciating. What do you say? How do you keep the conversation going? Do you ask about the weather? Yuck. All right, these thoughts will run through your head as you go on your first date with him. With these conversation ideas, you won't have to go through another moment of awkward silence on your first dates. 1, so what do? You can start off with a conversation about work. 2, how about your spare time? If you want to get more a sense of who they are, ask them about their hobbies and interests. 3, how did it start? You can follow up the hobbies question by asking what prompted them to start it. Is it a childhood interest? Is it something they acquired from a friend, a workmate, a former flame? 4, so last week, share a funny or an interesting story. It can be about work, something you've learned from a talk you've been on, or what you did last weekend. Keep it positive or something relevant to your conversation. So now I'm going to pause it. See, there's a pause button here. Good, there's a pause button. If you wanted to just stop in the middle to catch your breath, or you're getting a little bit anxious, then you can just push the pause button. When you're finished, and you can see now, isn't this nice? You've got nice areas here, and you can see the nice flat area for editing if you were quiet, right? And this all is very good. Now what we're going to do is stop it and export it. And what I'm recommending, for simplicity's sake, you can export to MP3s, but that requires an extra plugin in Audacity, and it's a bit of a hassle. So just export it to WAV files. So what I'm going to do is stop the recording, file, and I'm going to, what's going on here? Got to stop. Oops, there, now we stopped. Good, now we stopped. Okay, so the stop button is this brown button in the middle. The pause button is the blue 2 bars. File, export. And export, you get your various choices, but what I'd like you to do is export it. What I suggest that you do, this is anybody's choice, is export it to WAV, and then give it the same file name as your actual article. In this case, 21 conversation ideas for your first online date. So I'm just going to type in 21 blah 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 conversation ideas for your first date. Save, and then just say all the yeses. And now it just takes a moment to export it. And that's exporting. Screen share off. And we're back. Okay, so that's it. You do not have to do a good job on this. You'll get better as you do more. Do not worry about mistakes. Just go forward. If you make a huge mistake, leave a silent area, which will mark the track out for editing, and then just do the next one. and just go back and repeat the whole thing. Don't try to edit, and just go forward. You can do this all in one take. This a simple article, once you get the hang of it, I'm sure you can do in 5 minutes or so, depending on how long the article is. But our list posts are 21 short paragraphs, 28 short paragraphs, 16 short paragraphs. And that, my friends, is the story of how to make a soundtrack to begin to annotate your blog posts.